similar 13-pin electrics. Have you got on your vehicle? Yeah. So you used 13 pins before?
Yeah.
Fine. So you're happy with all the A-frame? Good. Gas locker, obviously that's where your spare wheel is sitting. Just awaiting a pigtail and a gas bottle to sit in here. You can have two in there if you wanted to. Onboard regulator, so if you've operated gas before, onboard regulator. So the pigtail would be something similar to that, and you just screws into the bottle. Okay? Yeah. So depending on which type you get.
Let's turn it off, is it?
Yeah, well that actually is part of the gas test when they're checking it. So that's turned off for that. It's not a fully system switch off. It's only there to, you should always turn your gas bottle off. So that shuts it off. I tend to use that if I'm changing bottles. Switch it off there, it keeps pressure in the system, so you just lose that little bit of gas that may be in there. Okay? So obviously we've got our gas connected, everything's, I don't know if you can hear the burners roaring away. Okay, so happy with the gas locker? Yeah, so there's not a lot of other things you obviously can fit in there really once you've got the gas in. You obviously got your other little bits like your waste pipe and stuff like that, obviously you can obviously stick in there, and probably your toilet chemicals.
Okay.
Pink and the blue, so I'll just explain that in a second. Which we get down here, so we've got down there, so we've got two side by side, so we'll come down this side first. One of the important things obviously about your van is wheel nut check. Okay, before you travel each time, it should check in your wheel nuts. I'm just trying to think on this. I'm sure it's probably similar as all the rest of Swift. I'm trying to think now if it's 130 newtons. Yeah, it's same as all Swift. 130 newton meters if you've got a torque span. Okay. I will check that before you leave, but it's very important you do check them. You don't want obviously wheels coming off. Not good. Okay. Look down here. Got a gas barbecue outlet. Okay, you can see that nice little icon there. Looks like could be a gas barbecue outlet. So the fitting for it is there. You can see that's duly clipped onto there for now, obviously to keep it safe. So if you have a gas barbecue, that fitting is just onto a pipe, duly clip, and you can just plug in and use the gas which is on board. This one.
Dog shower?
No, 240 outlet. 240 outlet. Okay, so you can plug 240 there, and if you've your order, you can put electric into that. Obviously quite tricky to get to.
3-pin plug?
Yes, right. Yeah, so your domestic 240, yeah. Okay, if we can get round here before
Very lights.
talking in there. Go inside now. Right. We'll come. Once big's out of the way, causing obstruction. Right. So what we've got at the front, 240 inlet. So you just, when you plug your van in, 240 is there. Just trying to think, I can't remember seeing the cable now.
I was thinking that, I was going to say, is that normally on the site?
Sorry?
I was going to say, is that normally on the site, the cable?
We should
or do we
get
have to
a
have a
cable.
cable?
Yeah, you should have a cable. I can't remember seeing one. I'll have another look in a second. I can't remember seeing one when I was setting up. Right, so 240, always connect your van first, unravel, connect your bollard after. If you connect your bollard first, you've then got 240 cable walking across wet grass. Might not be a good outcome if you've...
You can do that, do you?
Yes,
Oh, that's nice. Right, so next thing is your water. So obviously you've got your Akrol there. I don't know if you can see the picture of it. You can hold hands when you're going to, if you want to go to fill it up. But that is your Akrol. It looks somewhat similar to that. Obviously mine's obviously not as new as that one will be. The handle in it, the in-free section just click together. As it says, it's an Akrol, so it rolls, as you can see in the picture there. Water in, this is your pipe. Just see that, I've just lifted that lid slightly. So that's your pipe. There's only one way it'll go in. Plug it in, just tap the lid down, it just holds it in position. If you go then, decide to go and fill it, and go that, this may come with it. So just make sure you pop it up before you pull that out. So that just locks it in position. Then, as you were saying a second ago, outlet for a shower point. Okay, so that just connects into that. So it's a bit similar to like a hose connection, you know, like a hose lock connection, it just clicks in. Okay, happy with that bit?
Yeah.
Right, from here, that is your boiler vent. So that's what I was blasting out because I've got it fired up on gas at the moment. And then toilet. Right, so what we've got is flush tank. So you've got a flush tank and the waste tank. Flush tank is what you flush it with. Normally at home you've got the water supply that does that. You need to supply your own water by topping that up. Yeah, just fresh water and pink chemical. So a small amount of pink chemical and water. This is the nasty bit. Obviously this is your waste cassette. Okay, so that's all where the nasty stuff goes. Obviously they're quite clever now. There's what is called a unisex toilet emptying cassette. It's now got wheels and a handle so it can easy to cart off. And what you've also got here, that So when you're filling this up, you need that on the top, okay? Because what if you can see that there, obviously that is obviously it's going to go back up again into the tank.
Right.
Okay, so that holds it that bit higher, and just keep pouring, and it should override that lip. Okay, so don't lose that, otherwise you just end up with a mess everywhere. To operate it, blue chemical in, either via there. Don't want that water splashing up, so you can put either blue chemical in there and about a pint to a litre of water in this one, or you can put that far there as well. Okay, there is a measuring jug or measuring cup on the side there, so blue chemical in, water in, that's ready to use.
How much water was that?
How much old capacity you mean?
No,
I put about a pint of water to a litre of water. This one's a bit bigger
One
than
of
what
those
I've
blue
got.
and a pint of water.
Yeah, that's it. But perhaps a litre on this size one. Just get that back in. To empty it, it's coming through there. And just press that, and that releases the air, so it allows it to flow freely out. Okay? And the handle just sits back in there, and that just slides in. And that's ready to go. So to release it is this little catch there, just lift that and it slides out. If it's not sliding easily, just push it back in, go inside. If the wastegate has been fully closed, that might be the reason. You're trying to pull it out, don't force it. So just go inside, check, make sure that's closed. I'll show you that in a second. What you've also got is this little tube here. That tube is your depth gauge for your flush tank. So you'll see the chemical, you'll see the level on that. Okay, to drain it, all you do is just pull that out there and it just drops down. You can drain it. So it's very important for winter. Obviously, when you're not using it, it's in storage, drain it down. Okay, you can just flush it into the waste set anyway, but just drain the last little bit out. Exactly, yeah, exactly. And the good thing about that is obviously as you're doing that, it's taking the water out of the pump as well, or spinning that. Okay, happy with the outside?
Yeah.
Obviously the legs, which I haven't explained, I don't know if you're aware of, obviously steadies on the corner, 2 at the back, and there's 1 either side at the front. You can see that just below the electric, there's like a hole in the wing as such. So you wind that down. There's a winder handle in your locker. Just wind them down to the floor. They're not there to jack it up. Okay, it's just there to steady it. So it's not a jacking system. You can't take your wheels off with that there because it's just going to go down. Because it's only like a single chassis rail that runs up and down the van, plus a few cross rails, and then the floor obviously is to strengthen it. Okay, happy with that bit? Right, key wise. 1 key does all, so you've got 1 and a spare. Okay. I'll just put them there because that's where we like not to lose them. Right, if you'd like to go inside now, we'll show the interesting gadgets we've got attached to us. So if you had a trailer tank before, you probably had a similar, well, somewhat similar as in a 2-burner. Oh, who's got dirty feet?
That'll be you.
That'll be me.
That's all right. That's why I put my. Yes. Right on. Okay, no worries. I'll get shouted off if I get the carpet dirty.
That was me.
Right, so first thing we come to is the control panel. You can see up here. So when you first get into your van, you need to switch your 12-volt systems on. Okay, which is that button there. So you get into your van, switch your 12-volt systems on. That switches your water pump on. Don't do that straight away. I'll explain that in a second. That's your main light master switch, dim bulb light master switch, and awning light. So there's the awning light which is at the back here. This is your menu scroll, and that's your select button. If you're on the menu, if you're looking for the menu, just press the up button or the down button. It'll scroll around to the same place and come back to the same place. Okay. Just wave at it. It lights it up. Okay. So after so many seconds, it will go to sleep. Same with these blue lights here. So if you think that's gone to sleep and you think, well, the pump looks like it's switched off, it likely isn't. It's just that little light, which could annoy you, has just gone to sleep for that period of time. Okay. And that sounds like the gas or something might be turning up. Right. Okay. So when you first get into your van, obviously the first thing you really want to do is set the water system up. Okay. So that's why don't operate your pump straight away. If you haven't got control over the taps, so if all the taps have been left open to drain in a previous visit, they obviously may still be open. So shut them. Same with that, the shower, because if that's pointing in this direction and you've left it open, I've had that before, I open the door, face full of water, you obviously don't want that. Same in the kitchen, you see obviously the tap can manoeuvre, obviously you want that over the top of the sink. If you have a look down here, just at the bottom of the wardrobe, that's where your boiler is situated. Right, if you can just see there's a yellow lead on the left hand side at the bottom of the cupboard there, you can see that. At the moment it's pointing horizontally across, so that is closed. Okay, if it's pointed upwards, that means it's draining. So that'll allow the water to drain underneath the van onto the ground underneath. Okay. So that is obviously important for winter, or when you're travelling, you want to drain that boiler down. So you lift that up, open all the taps to centre, so it'll take the hot and cold air straight down through there. Obviously, to get the water in, you obviously don't want that open, so that needs to be closed, and the tap's closed. Then we'll just come back up here again. Then we can switch the water pump on. So to switch the water pump on is that there. Obviously, it's on already because I can see the blue light. Next thing we need to do is purge the air out the system. So I always start on the cold side. So obviously, full Akerol outside, obviously an essential. So open it up. Hopefully you'll get you may get a bit of you should get a bit of spluttering. Obviously I've found it already. I'm going to say you get a bit of spluttering because I took the pipe out a second ago. So you'll get a bit of spluttering, but then hopefully you should get a strong stream of water like that. Then I turn it across to the hot side. What we're doing then is we're going to fill the hot water tank. Okay, so open it up on that. That will take a couple of minutes longer at least, because what we're trying to do is obviously there's a 10 litre tank. If there's 10 litres of air in there, it's got to come out this tap. So it's going to take longer to push that air out. Okay, so once you've got a strong stream of water like that, then we know that your hot water tank's full, and you can see you've got a bit of warmth in there because I've had everything all fired up. So it's not, I was just thinking that probably the caps on here, the drain pipes which are on the outside are probably actually still closed. That's why we're not going down so quick. Okay, obviously you can see it's got a bit of a splut. When it starts spluttering, obviously it can splatter a little bit. Okay, so once we've got a solid stream, then we know the boiler's full. Also, do the same with the other taps as well. Get the air out of the system. It's a pressurised system. You'll hear the pump continue to run. Obviously, it's stopped now. If I just put that on again, oh, there's more air. I don't think they hear the pump.
Yeah.
It's stopped now. Yeah. So obviously the amount of air in it obviously is dependent on how long the pump will run for. If you've got more air, the pump will continue running for a while.
That's only if you've drained it over winter, isn't it?
Yeah, well you might drain that from each time you go away.
Yeah, okay.
Obviously you don't really want stagnant water staying in the pipes. What I do, I get to the site entrance I should say, on the way home. Wife jumps in, opens all the taps, opens the drain down. As we driving home, that bit of movement helps the drain down and it'll flow out.
Yep.
So then you're getting rid of the water. Obviously any water that stays in there, if you're not going to weigh in it for another 2 or 3 months, sitting in the pipe work is not going to be too tasty, I don't think. Right, okay. Right, so once we've got the water system up and running, then we can heat it. So what we've got is a numerous amount of buttons. So this is your control panel for the heating and hot water, okay? Up there.
This is their favourite bit.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, you like hot water and
Warm.
heat it. Right, if you look down here, if you stop around here, look, so that's your boiler, that blue container there, that's your boiler. Alongside here you can see these 2 electric switches. One says, or you should see a little label on them, one should say heater, one say water heater. So that's providing electric for them. So if they're not switched on, it won't. Okay. And what we've also got, if you can see that little red button down there, in there, that's a reset for the boiler. So if you've switched it on without any water in it, on the electric side, it can trip. So if you've done that, you've left these switched on and you've drained it down. But obviously, when you unplug electric, obviously when you're driving home, it doesn't matter. You get to your next site, you've left them switches on, plug it in. Then power is then there available for the boiler. It starts heating it up. It's like boiling a kettle with no water in it. So the likelihood that will trip.
Right.
Okay. And more or less guarantee it probably will. Okay. So what we've also got. So if we haven't got enough switches, I don't know if you can see down here. There's also another orange switch. So we've got 1 or 2 switches on this. So the orange switch, as long as you switch them ones down there off, they won't affect. That one won't affect it if that's been left on. But you can switch all of them off if you want to. Okay. Right.
What's that orange switch do?
That's for the water heating again.
Oh, right, okay.
All right. So next is obviously this is the actual control. What have we done? That's not in the slider. I missed it. See, just dropped the wrong side, stopping that from shutting. Right. So, I don't know if you heard. Obviously, on the heating side of it. When you came in, you probably heard the fan running. Yep. So what it's actually done is it must have reached temperature. So the fan will only operate when it needs to increase the temperature. Obviously, if the thermostat cuts in, it thinks, right, I don't need to, the fan can switch off. Okay, so it will come back on if I increase the temperature. Okay, so what we've got on off. So at the moment, I've got water heating. That's running on gas. Room heater, that's running on gas at the moment. I can select other energies and I can increase That's your temperature increase. So that's your thermostat setting for the heating. Okay, so your heater is actually underslung under the floor. You can hear it now. It's now going to take it up to the next temperature level, and then it will shut off again once it reaches that. Obviously, leaving the door open doesn't help. But hopefully in the summer you can leave the door open, so you can just do that. So if I just do the heating first, then right. So heating off on 1 electric, 2 electric, 3 electric. So roughly that is 500 watts, 1000 watts, 2000 watts, or half a kilowatt, 2 kilowatt. So that's now running on electric. Okay, I'm just going to give it a good blast now. Or if I click it again, gas. I don't think, no, so it's either electric or gas. So if you're on a site with no electric, obviously gas is the option. If you are plugged into electric, you might as well use electric. Okay.
If you're not hooked up, will it not allow you to select electric?
Well, yeah, you may try and select it, but it won't obviously operate it. Okay. So that's what that's operating on now. Water. So that can do a selection of possible both. So off. First one electric again. 1, 2, but that's not. That's round about just less than 1 kilowatt, 2 kilowatt. Gas on its own, or gas electric 1 and gas electric 2. So on the water heating, you can do the combination of. So if you want extra hot water, say you want to use the onboard shower, you can obviously do that. Okay. So also what we've got, it's difficult to see this light. I'm just trying to think we've got an extra light down here, but I don't think we have on the top. If you can see, obviously you see the green flame there. That means obviously we operate on gas. Oh, shut itself off now. I'm trying to see, but I can't see. I haven't got my torch with me today. There's also a little icon there. If it fails, you'll see a little. I think it's like a caution, red caution. I can't see for the. No, there's no light up top here, and I can't quite see from the angle I'm at. Well, that shut that one off, and I can't see. There we go. No. So if it comes up, that means it's failed to light. Okay. Have you got a torch option on there? No. All right. No worries. So if that comes on, obviously there's a reason, as in the gas has failed because of you haven't turned your gas on, you run out of gas, or there may just be a bit of air in the system. If you've changed the gas system, changed the bottles over recently. Okay. So you can, so the temperature range is there. So you just increase, that is the level there. So obviously it's all the way up here. That's the hottest setting. You'll soon find out how warm that is on a small van like this.
We'll check that later.
Yeah. Oh, it does
like
give it a good blast.
Hot, so
Yeah. So that's it.
your type
So it's just energy, whatever you want to select. If you're on a pitch with electric, you might as well use that because you're paying for the pitch. The electric's coming with it as not free, but as part of the cost. So no point in using gas unless you really have to. Okay, happy with that?
Okay, yeah.
Good.
Do you generally pay an amount for electricity, or do you?
No, it's usually part of the pitch.
But
So
is it
pay-
metered then, or do you just pay?
No, you just
10
pay.
quid and that's it.
You just pay whatever you pay for your pitch.
So-
Most. Well, I've never been to a site where you have to pay separately. Some do. If you're on a seasonal pitch, some make you pay on a meter, perhaps, because you're there all the time, or your van's there all the time. But if you're on your tour and you're going to the next site, you go to the next site. It's usually part of the cost of
generally a fixed
whatever
price.
it is, £20 a night for that pitch, or whatever the cost is.
So yeah, might as well
Okay.
use it then.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of using all the gas up.
Yeah.
Okay. But if you haven't got the electric, then you use the gas option. Right. So next thing we've got, obviously you want to keep things cool. Obviously the option is your fridge. On off button is that one there. You have to press it quite firmly to switch it on and switch it off. Right. So we've got selection of a few different energies. Electric and gas are the main ones. 12 volt, that's coming from the car when you're travelling. Okay, so if you want to select a different energy, press the button here. So you can select auto. So what that will do is select the energy for you. If electric's connected, it will select electric. If electric's not available, it'll look for gas. Okay, if gas is not available, it'll look for battery. But the battery is the 12 volts from your car, and not really battery, more or less the alternator that's putting power to you. Okay, or you can just select gas. Right, that's going GP because I was onto battery then. Right, so to select gas, that will light gas automatically. If it fails, it will start doing that cheapy noise. So if I just put it to battery, there we go. So that's the command panel now saying, oh, my fridge has got a problem. What it is because I've tried to select 12 volts, which is the car. The car's not connected, the engine's not running. It realises that and lets you know that you can't do that. So if it's doing that on the gas, that means it's failed to light. Okay. To attempt to relight it, all you do is press and hold the on-off button until you hear one beep. Take your finger off, and it'll reattempt to light it. Okay. obviously it won't attempt to connect your battery. Come on, shut up. There we go. Right, so that's now on electric. So if you hear it going beep 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 up here, you can just press the select button and that will shut this control panel up. Because this control panel can talk to that control panel can talk to the heating as well. Okay? Happy with that bit? Good. Have you registered with Swift Command?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've done all right. Have you got the app on your phone?
Yeah.
Right, so we'll run through that next then. Okay. So I need to check on this. Where's it doing it? Yeah. Good. Right. I'm just seeing if, because these control panels, they come from factory with Aldi as a default setting. And I was just checking that it had been changed to Whale, because this is the only thing that Swift has that's got the Whale boiler and heating system. Right.
Bluetooth on and
Right, so you got Bluetooth phone. What type of phone we got?
iPhone.
iPhone, that's always fun. Right, so just go back onto your app. So if you go on the Swift Command app. So to connect to it first time, so obviously each time you do it then, once it's connected, so we're going to pair it up now. So we'll go to system settings, so you just scroll up and down until you see system settings, press the select button. In that area we can also change the clock, date, time, year, and also the screen time on that as well. So if I'm just going to press up until I see Bluetooth pair. Okay? So Bluetooth pair, I activate by pressing the select button that says Bluetooth active. Press the Bluetooth icon there. So you just tap it again. Tap it again. That's it. Search for control panel. And you'll see it's a nice blue icon come up. So when we tap that, and the next screen comes on, you need to press pair.
Right.
Obviously to pair it up. Just press pair there. Oh, too late. Yeah.
Do
Some of them are so quick, it's unbelievable. Search control panel again. Is it going to allow us to do it now? I bet we'll do it now. Oh, that's a big compressor. No, try it again. It goes so quick, it won't. Right, I'll do it again.
Okay.
I'm just going to Bluetooth active again. Search control panel, that's it. Wait for that to become clear. Tap that. It should pair, that's it. Right, strong signal. So we're talking to it via Bluetooth now. So sitting in the van or just around the van, we can talk to it doing that. Top button there, green one, that's your battery. So when it becomes clear, it's communicated with it. You can switch the 12 volt power on and off. There's your battery. You could switch the vehicle if you wanted to, if your vehicle was attached to it, but you go and drain the battery down on that. You can have problems. AC limit, you can do exactly the same on this up here. AC limit, what you can do is obviously when you connect to your bollard, we're talking about electricity now, you connect your bollard, they've got a limit of how much electric they want to give you. So obviously we're talking about how it may be free or not. Obviously they are limiting how much electric you can have. It's a 16 amp on most sites, others can be less, but you can set a limit for the van so you don't overdraw it and trip the switch on the bollard. Okay, also showing its levels, so you can see battery ampage, leisure voltage. There's obviously no vehicle there, mains ampage, and solar. Have you got solar on this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Should have.
Should have, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, that's all right. No, some models that I'm aware of didn't have.
How do you know?
No, there's a little box there. That's your regulator.
Right.
That's how I know. Otherwise, I'm going to be climbing on the roof, which I can't do. Right. Okay. So if the solar's active, that will show a level there as well. Obviously, it's a bit dull out there now. Right. So just come back out of that one. What we've also got is water. Just tap on that one. So just be a bit cautious how you use this. Right. So that's showing pumps on. The other two grey are not connected to this van. Okay. So you could switch the water pump on and off. If you were setting it up, plug your Acroll in. Oh, I can switch this on from outside. If you haven't closed the drain down and switched the taps off, you start switching that on outside.
Yeah, right, okay.
You're going to have water everywhere. So just be cautious how you're using that. Okay. Next one we have is heating. So that should recognise we've got Whale. That's good. So at the moment it's manually controlled via that control panel there. We can actually change it so it talks to it via your app. Okay. So we can go via the settings here. I'll just come back out of that one. So on here you'll see heating settings. Go into there. It says manual at the moment. If I press the select button again, the timer, or press it again, app. Press it up arrow to exit the settings. So you can see you've got a timer there. So what we should do is now jump to timer 7. What is the...
Well,
yeah, it's going to catch up. Is it doing it? No, hang on. Might jump back out again. Sometimes it does. we go. So little clock icon, that's to say we should be connected.
Yep.
There we go, we jumped to timer
Yeah.
7. The heater's still running at the moment because once it gets warm it has to cool back down again once it gets warm. So normally you will see, you won't hear it going once it jumps. Oh, it's jumped back to manual. It may be because of the heating's running, it doesn't want to jump to timer to switch it off.
Okay.
Okay, so we'd have to wait for that to shut down before it will do that, I'm thinking. Okay, so we don't get too many whales. Obviously, most of ours are either, most of the rest of Swift are either Combi or Aldi, which is a slightly different heating system. Okay, so if we had on timer 7 different days,
Right.
timer set. Timer 1 does one for every day. Yeah, and we've also got override. Override, what that will do, so you can do this remotely as well, but this is obviously Bluetooth we're looking at here. So what we can do on override, we press override, so that will override the timer. So if we've got a timer set for say 4 o'clock to come on at 5, so for example we've gone up the hill, up the Wrekin, got to the top, well, it's a bit cold, coming back down again, but the timer's not going to set my heating on till 4 o'clock because we weren't going to get back till 5. So you press override, you can select temperature, you can select the energy, select run time, so you can select from 1 hour, to 4 hours of run time. You can switch the water heating on if you wanted to, then you just press start and then it will send a signal and it will start your heating up straight away. Okay, then without messing around changing timers.
Yeah, right,
Okay.
okay.
So what you've also got down here, obviously these icons will light up depending on what you've got running. So you see that's okay. So it's actually got. You can see it's actually run on electric on the heating at the moment. Okay.
Okay.
See if you want to come back out of that one. So what we've also got is fridge. So we can this will actually talk to the fridge. Obviously, when I was pressing them buttons, we didn't like it. That was beeping up there because it was talking to that. So at the moment we've got all 5 lit on the fridge here. That's your temperature range. So all 5 is the coldest setting.
Right.
Okay. We can switch what energy we want to use as well.
Is it 3D or?
Yeah, you just tap on 3. That's it.
Okay,
And you'll
yeah.
see this just turn to 3. Or you can turn it off, or you can turn to a gas, or you can turn it to whatever you
So
want.
I was thinking on there.
Yeah, this is your temperature range here. So if it says optimal, that says the fridge is at correct temperature. It says plus at the moment. Obviously, I've only just set this up, so the temperature it hasn't gone down far enough to be optimal.
Right.
So you just need to increase
It's higher then.
increase the setting to obviously. But
Make it quicker.
but it takes a lot longer for that to catch up compared to just pressing that. Okay, just come back out of that one. Right, so what we've got next is lights. So we tap on that one. So you'll see these switches here look very similar
Alright.
to them ones there. So you can switch it into on off. I'm just trying to think which ones you've got dims on this one now. So dim channels, normally dim 2 is at the front, dim 1's at the back. So it may do the same. So if you just tap dim 1 to the end of the slider there, on the slider. Yeah, so we can see it. So that's the one above the kitchen.
Yeah.
Then you've got the other one I'm pretty sure is the one that's under there.
Cool.
Okay, you can do it manually up here as well. So you just scroll around here until you see, oh there we go, dimmer level and the select button. But what that will do is both together.
Alright.
Okay, on the app, or on the app,
You can separate.
you can do separately.
Okay.
Okay, no, it's a massive van and it's,
Oh, that's
yeah, so yeah, obviously,
talk back to that then.
yeah, it's gone back to your manual. Okay, and obviously you can switch lights on and off. You can do that remotely as well. So if you were coming back to your van in the dark, you can, before you get there remotely, you can switch them on. Obviously we're just talking to his Bluetooth. That's it, just press go on, it's just jumped out. If you press that one that's got a little cross on the bottom there, that'll jump to there, search for control panel.
Alright.
Just wait for it to become clear. And you won't have pair this on. This is what you do each time you want to come and use it now. And then once it's clear, that's it. So there you go. So that's your main lights off, on, or your dim lights on, off. Okay,
Yeah.
good. Come back out of there. Right, where are we
Get
next?
your gas outside.
Okay, cheers mate. Right, so
Air conditioning?
air conditioning. The only air conditioning you have got is a open window or open door. Yeah. So I'm not sure if you'd have an air.
That's fine.
Not sure if you have an air conditioning be able to fit to this. I'm not sure. But obviously that's something that's there ready, but not. Obviously I haven't got that. Remote is the next tile. So your boot tile. Anything look grey there? Obviously we're not connected. So we need to go back out to there. We need to connect via the internet now. So long as you've got 4G, which I can see. Just the picture of me on there. No, not that one. That's it. You allow, yeah, just allow for now.
fine, yeah.
We just come back out of that one. That's ATC, which you haven't got. Picture of me. That's it. Right. So you registered with the Swift command.
Yep.
What you need to do now is put your email address in and the password you used, and that will connect. If you want to do that for us.
It was
Oh, so you may not want to record that on the
Rust
camera.
Arcade, what was it?
It was
Caravan of Rust Arcade.
Caravan.
Oh, I remember now. Yeah, because I was trying to use that other email just to connect you, and I said, it's not connecting, James. And then they found no, you've used a different one.